Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV. We're at PAX East in Boston, and I've been very eager to get in touch with AMD, and now I have. So I have Don Walagroski here, who's their marketing manager. We're going to talk today about low-end stuff, as we always do here on the channel, and AMD has some really nicely performing chips. We're going to be getting some products in soon to review with them, but I want to talk with somebody from the source here about what is an APU, because we're seeing this on many low-end laptops. How does it perform against maybe an Intel Atom processor, and why would a gamer want that over something from Intel?
Well, an APU essentially is AMD's take on combining the processor, the CPU side, with a really strong graphics chip, so an integrated graphics chip. Not only that, though, the APU is defined by its ability to run processor-intensive applications that are built for compute processing on the graphics side. So it's a really tightly wrapped processor with the CPU and APU talking together with some special pipelines between each other.
So you're able to get a comparably priced PC, around $200 or so, laptop maybe. There's all sorts of different brands. Everybody has their own pricing. But for a gamer, what could they expect to run on something like that in a relatively smooth frame rate?
Well, like you were saying, compared to the competition, I guess if you're looking at Atom specifically, our entry-level APUs tend to have much more powerful graphics than the Atom. So if you do want to run those really popular games like League of Legends, you do have a lot more headroom there. You've got a lot of power to play with, and in that entry-level segment for sure.
And I guess you have some other chips too that are a little bit higher powered, but also relatively inexpensive. So at the show today, I see you have the new Wraith chips. You've got an 8-core on one die essentially. What does that do, and why should someone consider that?
Well, if you're looking at gaming specifically, especially with DirectX 12 coming out, it's really built to take advantage of more CPU cores and spread that processor load. So it really gets rid of the bottlenecks that DirectX 11 had. We've got two new processors. The processors are existing processors. The FX 6350, we released that some time ago, is a 6-core processor, but now we're releasing it with an aftermarket class cooler that you'd probably spend over $20 to buy by itself, so that's nice. And we're keeping that at the same price level that we currently offer it, so it should be in the $120 range. And we've got the 8-core FX 8350, also staying around the same price, about $140 with that new cooler. That's really cool. If you're looking at the also the sub $100 level for building a gaming PC, we really recommend our Athlons. In that space, we have 4-core Athlons going up against 2-core Pentiums, and a lot of newer games, especially next-gen engines, will choke or maybe not even run on a dual core. So that's really something to think about if you're really on a budget serious gaming.
It's really not all about speed anymore. It's about how many cores that you can do things simultaneously for.
It's becoming more important as we go on, and with DirectX 12, once again, you get that nice bump if you have at least 4 cores. So really, it's the way to go in that segment.
I guess in the PC market, everyone's talking about things kind of dying off or whatever, but you walk around a show like this and PC use is going up, and people are buying PCs, choosing them sometimes over game consoles. What is AMD's take on the PC market now, and how important is gaming to all of this?
We're well aware that if you look at the most played games right now, the PC is just crushing consoles. I mean, a lot of people used to say PC gaming is dead, and that's such a ridiculous sentiment. Right now, the most played games in the whole world are those League of Legends, Dota 2, Counter-Strike Go. It's all PC, just millions of gamers, lots of esports going on, lots of huge pots. It started off in Korea and places. It's really exploded all over the world. As you can look around you here, you can see how big it's getting. So really excited, and that's a huge focus for us. We really love that. That's a lot of us are PC gamers, AMD. That's where we came from, right? I know myself, that's where I started out. So it's very gratifying to see the whole industry move there, and we're really trying to keep a laser focus on that.
Where would you say for a gamer that doesn't have $5,000 to spend on a PC, how much do you think somebody could spend the least amount perhaps to get a functional gaming PC if they're using your hardware?
I could make you a really nice PC, probably on Newegg with $300 of hardware. I'd start with an A10 7860K. It's got a really strong 512 graphics cores, more than capable of running those most played games like Dota 2 and League of Legends at 1080p. And then it's even, you can handle stuff like even Star Wars Battlefront, more demanding stuff like Shadow of Mordor. You can run those at 720p. So if that's your, if you have that low price of entry and you want to play, that's totally viable. And then a little higher than that, if you have a little more to spend, I'd go with a discrete card, maybe a Radeon 360 and an Athlon 880K or something like that, and then you're hitting the $350 to $450 range. But you really can attack those AAA titles. You start to get into something very playable at 1080p.
It's pretty cool. It's an exciting time for gamers, and exciting time just to be able to build hardware again, because there's really some great deals out there. So thanks very much for your time.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks so much for coming.
This channel is brought to you by my Patreon supporters, including gold level supporter Shabib. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to Lon.TV/Patreon to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit Lon.TV/S.